Over spring break, I went down to San Francisco to attend Beers and Cameras. On this trip, I brought the Hasselblad 500cm with two backs, the Ricoh GR1S, and the Leica M4 with two lenses, the 50 and the 28. We got up early and met up with another group from LA for our own little photo walk before the main event. We went to Embarcadero Station and took the ferry to Oakland.
This is really to our bright future. Yeah, look out there too.
When we got to the other side, we went to Chinatown. The weather was really nice and it was quite a sunny day, so Chinatown was quite busy and I think I got some pretty good photos here. After a while, we started heading back, and our destination would be Pier 39.
Is this us?
I want you guys to pass up. Yes, that's why I was.
After we were done at the pier, we started walking towards Fisherman's Wharf. On the way there, I think I took some of my favorite photos from the trip. I really like this photo. I think the colors are really good and I like how her shirt is in the same color scheme as the rest of the buildings. And for this one, I really like the colors again, and I just wish that maybe his shoulder wasn't stuck in frame. By noon, we were all pretty hungry and decided to eat at the finest establishment in town, In-N-Out. After increasing our cholesterol levels by double, we took the bus and went to Chinatown. also stopped by the Leica store. After a quick break and chilling in the AC of Camera West, we made our way to the main event.
Film crew, we have Sissy, Terry, Caleb, Jason, Jonathan, and Tony, and among the spots I might be forgetting.
Shortly after we got there, the event kicked off and we took a group photo.
Okay, are you guys ready? Yep. 1, 2, go!
There was a bit of downtime after the group photo, so I went to find Jonathan and gave him some elephant pants, which I got when I went back home to Thailand for the winter. After a quick ice cream break, we rejoined the group and kept going down the water. The photos here were alright. I thought there was more socializing than photo taking. I did not. There was still some time to kill before the event started, so I wandered around the area and took a couple of shots. I thought the Hasselblad shined here for static landscapes because of the detail you can get in the photos. From a composition perspective, these two photos are pretty good, but I think the colors are throwing me off. And finally, I reached the main venue and started socializing with what little battery I had left. I gave Jason and Caleb the elephant pants and had them sign a little Instax photo. It's honestly hard to put into words how surreal it is to be able to interact with people who I've looked up to for years and years. From watching them on YouTube, from my bedroom in Thailand, to being able to meet all of them in person is just absolutely amazing. Experiences like these is why I do photography. It keeps me going and inspired.
Yeah.
He got me elephant
And being able to give them something meaningful to me was also amazing as well.
Yeah.
Mantler 35 winner is Alex. Alex. You won! Woo! Alex! You won a Mantler. What are you gonna do next?
Here I found a fellow Ricoh GR user, only to instantly get flexed on by a Contax T2. And flash too.
Oh, no flash? I wasn't even ready.
That was basically the rest of the night. Took some shots here and there, but they weren't anything too special.
Well, Thanks, bro. I know what this is. We just got it.
Austin and Miguel and I then called an Uber, grabbed some McDonald's, headed back to our hotel, and went to bed. These are the contact sheets from day one. I'd say a pretty successful day of shooting and a very eventful one as well. This was probably by far the most film I have ever shot in one day. The next day, Austin left and it was just me and Miguel. For this morning, we would take it slow and go to our hotels to check in and have some time to relax and take a mandatory toilet photo. Since I had some time to kill, I explored the area around the hotel and took some decent photos. Though a bit overexposed, I do like this photo. I like the scale that the building gives to the subject in the bottom right. I like this photo too. Comp-wise, I think it's okay, but the colors here really shine. And here's another one on the 28. Walking around here was honestly really nice. It made me feel like I was at home in Bangkok again. And then I made my way down to the financial district. I headed to Union Square and decided to get some food in the area. I then met up with Miguel and we started walking around. We kept walking down Market Street and decided to go to the Peak Design store.
Thank you.
We then stopped at a park to grab a coffee and decide what to do next. And so we made our way down to the City Hall. The lighting was absolutely amazing. I am a huge fan of these photos. We then headed down Golden Gate Avenue as the golden hour light faded. That was it for the photography on that day. We got some food after and then went home. These are the contact sheets from day 2. Overall, a pretty chill day of shooting, I'd say. Today is another slow day. I'd be going to Berkeley and visiting my friend and exploring the campus and the downtown area. I actually like this photo a lot. I think it's very moody and the colors are nice. was actually very nice, but obviously I gotta show some loyalty to UW and the Suzuki Library. Go Huskies. After a campus tour, we went to Trader Joe's to get some food and drop it off back at the dorms before heading over to the Rose Gardens. We got to the Rose Gardens just as golden hour was coming in and the lighting was amazing. Afterwards, we got back and I cooked some food for my friends and they demolished everything. And that was it for the day as I head back to the hotel before I miss the trains. These are the contact sheets for today. It was a pretty minimal day of shooting as I spent most of the time just hanging out. Day 4 would be the second busiest day of this trip, and I started off nice and early by meeting up with Miguel. These two photos are probably some of my favorite street portraits I've ever taken. Our first destination of the day would be the Coit Tower, and as we were walking there, I took this photo. This one's another one of my favorite from the trip. I just love the lighting of this photo. The reflected light from the building behind us gave the photo almost like a film flash look. I also took a second photo, but I can't decide which one I like more. The area we were walking through was pretty nice, and that reflected in the photos, especially of this church. And then it was time to climb this steep ass hill. It was a lot steeper in person. The view up there was pretty nice and the weather was also pretty good that day. Today was also the day that light leaks started showing up in the Hasselblad photos, so that sucks. It was around noon by this point, so we decided it was time to refuel. We then made our way back to the Fisherman's Wharf area just to walk around for some more street photos. After loading my camera in record time, I went into Pier 39 for some more photos. And then we headed to Ghirardelli after. After taking advantage of the free samples, we kept walking down by the water and ended up at the Fort Mason area. This is sick. Look at the view. What I just said felt like a bit of subtle foreshadowing, as the view would get so much better later on in the day. We then made our way down to the Palace of Fine Arts. Architectural photography is not really my strong suit, but I think the photos here were very nice, with a lot of help from the lighting and weather, of course. I think overall I got some pretty good photos here, with this one being my favorite from the location. I think the symmetrical composition works very well here, and I like how the tower in the middle lines up with the middle arch of the big structure. Miguel and I then separated, and I went to go to the Golden Gate Bridge. I decided to go to Marshall Beach as I thought that would be the location where I could probably get the best shots by sunset. It was a pretty long way down, but the route was pretty scenic, so that made up for it. I then proceeded to shoot the bridge in basically every format and every film I had on me. I think I had a pretty good streak here. I liked most of the photos that I took, and yeah, that's pretty rare for me to say. If I had to choose a favorite, it would probably be this one. I just think it has the most going on with it, with the rocks in the foreground. The rest were kind of just like pretty standard and plain. As the sun was setting, I started making my way up and saw a group of skateboarders. Honestly, a valid crash out. And that's basically it for the 4th day of photography. I just went to get some food and headed back to the hotel. These are the contact sheets from day 4. They're pretty good, I'd say. Lots of keepers and some portfolio shots. Today was gonna be another one of those chill days. On the way to take the bus to Japantown, I took a bit of a detour to walk around the area. I would stop on the way to get some Thai food and then add glass key photos to restock on some film. I made it to the Japantown area and decided to go hit the gacha first. I was actually very excited for this one because I wanted to see or the 35 or 28 Ti, but I just got the random toy camera instead. And then walked around the store a bit more before deciding to go elsewhere for now. I went to see the Painted Ladies, which were Victorian style homes built in the 60s for I think like a movie set, and it was okay. On the way back to the hotel, I ended up passing by Japantown again, and I stopped for some snacks and some more photos. After dropping off some stuff at the hotel, I headed straight to the Chase Center to meet up with a friend and to watch the Warriors game. It was our first time watching an NBA game, so we were quite excited. And we also got this free Al Horford bobblehead. Even though basically every star player for both teams were injured, the atmosphere was pretty nice, and the game was quite close throughout. Draymond scored like 7 points that game, but this was probably by far his most crucial shot. The game ended 109 to 106 with 2 Draymond free throws to seal the game. After the game, we headed back to Berkeley dorms where I'd stay the night. I started the morning with a little drink and headed to my hotel to drop off some stuff before heading to Golden Gate Park. The weather on that day was basically perfect. This is another one of my favorites from the trip. I think the colors in here work really well. The subject in the foreground really stands out in the yellow chairs. I tried to hit all the major landmarks, so first I went to the Conservatory of Flowers. I like this photo from the greenhouse. I think the symmetrical reflection works really well here. Then I headed to the Young Museum and then the Japanese Gardens. Unfortunately, my A24 back was showing signs of light leaks, which would only get worse. I spent the next couple of hours just wandering around the park and then heading down to the windmills. And then to Sutro Baths to catch the golden hour light. The views were amazing. It was by far one of my favorite locations to shoot. This was just one of many photos ruined by light leaks. Although this one is quite nice. Overall, I think I took a lot of great photos here and slammed them straight into my portfolio. I then headed back up and then went down to Ocean Beach to catch the end of Golden Hour and some of Blue Hour. Having been to many beaches myself, I was still wowed by the sheer scale of Ocean Beach. And as the light disappeared, I went to go get some food. I got the grilled fish sandwich, which was really good. On the way back, I went to take some night photos around the hotel. Overall, I was quite happy with the photos from these two locations. For the last half day, I started with a nice bowl of noodles and went to Nintendo San Francisco. I ended up with a nice shirt from Tears of the Kingdom and a little Pikmin blind box, which I did not get what I wanted. And then I caught the bus to the Twin Peaks viewpoint. The view from up here was amazing, and getting to see the entire city from one viewpoint was kind of crazy. It made me realize how small the city actually is, even though it felt so grand and large while I was down there. After taking the bus down from the viewpoint, I ended up in Castro, and then I overexposed every single Velvia shot I took. I then took the train back to the hotel and had one last meal in the area. I decided on some Peking duck after looking at some reviews of restaurants nearby, and it was by far the best thing I had, and the most expensive thing too. And then I was off to the airport back to Seattle. Although I felt tired at times during the trip, looking back on it, I wish I was there for even longer. And immediately the next day, I went straight to Moody's Film Lab to get my film developed. Everything took about a month to be all done, and then I started scanning and editing, which also took another month because this video is 33.5 minutes long.